I wrote this today for Facebook and Twitter. It's had 72,000 views on Facebook and 29,000 views on Twitter so far. But it's a topic we often get flung at us, so I thought I'd go into it in a bit more depth. See what you think. What exactly is the far right? Well, these days, Doris from number 32, who just wants her bins emptied on time, cracked pavements fixed and a GP's appointment face to face in less than 2 weeks, instead of seeing her taxes sent to a Canadian trans activist group, is now deemed far right. Or Philip, who is desperate to buy his own place and get on the property ladder, who can't even rent because greedy landlords have turned their rentable properties over to Serco, so it still lives with his mum. Apparently he's now far right. Or Maureen, a carer doing double shifts, who's sick of seeing huge foreign families surviving on benefits. She's getting older. Her back aches and she's on painkillers and would love to retire but can't afford it. She's also far right. All these people are bunched together with their skinheads and troublemakers, an image left over from the 70s and rarely seen, may I say. Today, they're seen as far right. Even the dim, out-of-touch Prime Minister uses the slur to fit anyone who doesn't agree with him. All these people are projected by a government who's unpopular, even loathed, and they're projected as anti-establishment. It's not true. They're very much pro-establishment. They just want it and expect it to work for the people of Britain who pay their taxes. Students who have paid nothing or very little into the tax system as they party their way through further education, which is anything but, by the way. It's just a holding pen for indoctrination, so these young sponges come out the other end craving big government, screaming that they're hard done to because of some fictitious mindset that baby boomers had it so good that now they're in their twilight years are in some way a drain on society, ignoring of course that most of them began work immediately at 15 and 16, not following their dreams, just an alarm clock at the side of the bed that alerted them it was time for another day at the factory, foundry, steelworks, car plant, hospital, etc. The far right is a collective of people from all walks of life who can see that we have been abandoned by those who have been put in power to serve. Not lie, then ignore the people who put them there. Not make 100-year deals to spend our taxes on conflicts and wars that we would never start. Not give taxes away to ideals like green energy, which is anything but green, just another toxic landfill problem for the future, based on child labour and slavery to survive. The very bedrock of its flaky foundation depends on abject poverty in the very countries we give foreign aid to, countries rich in minerals and populations that are hungry and desperate enough to work in life-threatening conditions where corpses of children who die in the cobalt mines from pure exhaustion are disposed of like toxic waste. Simultaneously, this evidence-starved narratives have grown millionaires who sanctimoniously preach from the decks of their super yachts or steps of their private planes that you should have less, travel less and do less so they can have more. If you notice all this and can see it could be so much better, then sadly, you are now far right. Now, obviously it's had a lot of traction because it's correlated with a lot of people, and I do honestly think that it's no longer a slur. It's like anything else. When they use it too often, it loses its emphasis. It's like being called a racist because you're complaining about the amount of immigration. You're not complaining about the individual people or race of people. You're complaining about the impact it's having on a society that's clearly stretched and can't afford to live like this. We've just got told that some GPs are now selectively delaying appointments with some of their patients because they're doing day releases away at migrant hotels. That's never going to go down well in a health system that's got delay after delay after having been locked down and after having cancer treatment cancelled on the back of shutting everything down for the sake of one illness. How did that ever make any sense? So you see, it doesn't matter to me how many times Robert Jenrick does an excellent video and talks the tough talk and looks a bit more raunchy than he did before he was a Tory boy, chubba chubba. It does not impress me at all, because all I see is, oh, he was a member of the government when everything that's gone on went on. So you're not going to sway me around back to the Tories ever. But this isn't about party politics. This is about the fact that now ordinary citizens who complain are being labelled like the thugs of yesteryear. And whilst these people must still be about somewhere, I don't come across many. I come across people who are running small businesses and trying to feed a family and trying to explain to the son why you can't have a new Manchester United strip because it's just too expensive. We've worked hard and contributed to a lot of different taxes, even the ones where they tax you after you're dead. So we've paid our way to have our rights. We've paid our rate to be able to challenge this government and any other government. And the one most important job we can do is talk to each other about it and get the movement of discontent to grow. We don't actually have to do anything. All we have to do, if you want to go to a demonstration and you feel empowered and that you must because you're affected locally, that's up to you. But personally, my strategy would be edging on the side of caution. What if it's all deliberate to wind us up? What if they're going to use this so that we all get wound up about everything that's going on, take to the streets, civil unrest, and then, oh, what do you need when you've got civil unrest? You need more control, you need facial recognition, and you need people to sign in just to get on their own laptop. Facial recognition just to get on your own laptop. Think about that. Does this lead to more control? Is that the end game? More control? There isn't a problem, so create a problem, then you can have your dire legislation as the solution. What if it's that? I don't know. What if it's that? But what if we just sat back and tolerated it, complained, made noise, but did it peacefully? This isn't causing anybody any problems, me and you talking like this. And then waited for the big day when we can vote and make sure it isn't those two parties. What if that's the best way? I don't know. I'm asking you questions. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm edging my bets. The good news is I've gone up 3,000 followers in a week. These are new people. I've never come across them before. I've never seen them on Threads. I don't know their names. I've got many messages from them, basically saying they want to know more about politics, saying that they didn't realise. Some of them saying they suspected it and they've been put onto my page. A lot of them saying they feel a lot better for coming across me. A lot of them Labour voters, and now we're doing it. If I can go up that many people following me in such a short space of time, I'm probably not the only one it's happening to, am I? So this movement, you see, they can all move and plan, these movers and shakers. But what they never anticipated for 1 minute that the internet would provide us with a source of material and social media would give us the facility to share it. They had the close into social media, let's face it. Facebook and Twitter were left-wing organisations where you could not speak your mind. Now Elon's bought Twitter, so for a period in time, till Elon wants us for himself, we can chat on there freely. Facebook's had to lighten up the reins because Trump's in power, and that point is in big trouble. Not Trump, Zuckerberg or something like Zuckerberg. So as I see it, people have had enough, and generally most people, 67 million people, manage to live in this country every single day without causing that much trouble. We're importing the trouble that's upsetting us at the moment, and it doesn't need to be that way, and everybody sees it. So never think you're on your own, because when I started doing this on YouTube just 12 months ago, you think I had 3,000 followers. Nobody really knew me on YouTube. I've got 75,000 followers now. That's a growing movement. If that was a political party, you'd be well happy. So never think you're on your own. Never underestimate the power of you talking to someone else about what's going on and recommending a few podcasts, a few pages to go to. It doesn't have to be me. And you see a difference. Let's take a rain check on this in 6 months, see what it's like.